Canadian author Terence M. Green said, "Canada is an interesting place. The rest of the world thinks so, even if Canadians don't." We have not always been good at telling our story of nationhood to others, or even to ourselves, and that is why the remarkable life's work of James Marsh means so much. Beginning his career as a social science editor, he established himself as an authority in Canadian history and social science, as the editor of important projects such as Canada, Unity and Diversity, and the Carleton Library series. He is an author in his own right, with works about Canada ranging from the historically quintessential fishing and fur trade industries to the evolution of the province of Alberta. In 1980, Mr. Marsh was chosen in a national search to come to Edmonton to take the prestigious post of editor-in-chief of the Canadian Encyclopedia. He envisioned Canada's first comprehensive encyclopedia in many decades, and his leadership of 40 staff, 400 consultants, and several thousand contributors took this ambitious project to fruition to rave reviews in 1985. He oversaw the publication of 2 subsequent print issues of the encyclopedia, never one to miss an opportunity to promote Canada's history. In the years prior to his retirement in 2013, he oversaw the creation of digital and mobile versions, reaching new generations of readers of our country's story. The Macewan University Medal of Excellence is awarded to individuals outside of Macewan University's community whose achievements make exemplary contributions to academic, social, economic, cultural, artistic, or political life. James Marsh, for your remarkable contribution to Canadians' knowledge of our history and to ourselves, and for being a key force behind the rise in interest in Canadian studies in Canadian universities, we are pleased to present you with the Macewan University Medal of Excellence.
Chair Day, President Atkinson, Dr. John Corbett, thank you, university administrators, graduates, faculty, families, and friends. This is a touching ceremony for me. I never had the satisfaction of donning a cape, crossing a stage, and accepting a diploma. I was a truant and a clown in my own school career, though I managed to cobble together degrees in history and art by focusing on what interested me and by ignoring the rest. I was born into an alcoholic family and was often fed, clothed, and rescued from violence by neighbors. My early friends and school teachers would be scratching their heads should word reach them that not only was I not incarcerated somewhere, I had been awarded a medal. When I arrived in Edmonton in 1980 to become editor of a new Canadian encyclopedia, I began a journey not unlike the one you enter today, full of opportunities and uncertainties. Faced with a challenge one reviewer later called the intellectual equivalent of building the transcontinental railway, I recognized immediately how unprepared I really was, despite all my reading and all my experience as an editor. As our project unfolded under intense pressure of deadlines and expectations, our team discovered in one another the diverse attributes of success: trust, a love of language, a passion to get things right, a persistent sense of humor, and above all, embracing change. It's hard to believe that when we started our project in 1980, we were still using thousands of index cards as a database and dozens of typewriters to enter text. We sent tens of thousands of letters and spent hours with contributors on the telephone, talking. Computers were like science fiction in those days, but we were persuaded to consider their possibilities by some nerdy prophets at the university. We were thus the first reference work in the world to use computers to assemble articles in an electronic database, and we were the first to deliver the text on the internet a year before Wikipedia. Be prepared. Your world will stagger your preconceptions as well. Fortunately, you're very well equipped with some 86 billion neurons between your ears, beyond any computer, the true wonder of the universe. My early disadvantages have made me appreciate this country all the more. No matter how much private privilege and wealth there was around, in contrast around me, our community provided schools, libraries, museums, concert halls, playing fields, and universities to enrich my life with music, literature, science, sport, and art. There were mentors to encourage me to write, to read, to explore the unknown, and to find poetry and dreams. An English teacher who had expelled me twice from her class appeared by my hospital bed when I fell ill and gave me a book of poetry by John Keats, which I still treasure. Since my retirement 3 years ago, I have taken a course from Tennis Canada and qualified as an instructor to teach tennis to children in a program called Little Aces. I am ceaselessly amazed looking into the earnest faces of 6 or 7-year-olds who are trying to learn a very difficult skill. I'm often asked, Coach Jim, how am I ever going to get good at this? In my heart, I've asked myself this question 1,000 times. You might be faster, stronger, or better coordinator, but without an attitude that you want to try again no matter how many balls you miss, you'll never improve. Not everyone has it. One little kid asked me after only 5 minutes into each lesson, Coach Jim, how much more of this do I have to take? The main thing that I have learned is that every hopeful player is different and needs a different encouragement, including me. If you saw me play, you'd shake your head and say, how much more of this can he take? I've been urged to offer you some words of wisdom today, but I'm keenly aware that each of you is unique, and that it would be presumptuous of me to tell you what you need to see you through. So I will leave you not with my words, but the words of the French writer Marcel Proust, who wrote, "We don't receive wisdom, we must discover it for ourselves after a journey that no one can take for us or spare us." Thank you very much.